Thank you so much for still sticking with Morning Arts and TV. You're with me, Malaki Vilodera and Romeo Busiku. You can also tag us directly at Just That, and we are heavy on hashtag Morning Arts and TV. You can also stream us live on Facebook and YouTube pages, NTV Uganda. That's on Facebook and YouTube as well. All right, so let's get into a Kickstarter conversation. Now, we are getting into some security matters. Friday, Pastor Jackson Senyonga told President Yoweri Museveni at a gathering in his church that some of his fellow pastors were involved in various disappearances and killings in the country. He also doubled down on these allegations in another interview with our reporter Ivan Chimoli Chigozi, insisting he was even prepared with names of these particular perpetrators.
Wow, interesting. Now, Pastor Senyonga's shocking claims just fund an ongoing furor over the security situation in Kampala, and no one seems to know the answers. Well, let's take a look at the Friday story. Then we'll be right back with the deputy police spokesperson for the Kampala metropolitan area, Mr. Luke Owoyesigire. Take a look at this.
During a function attended by President Yoweri Museveni at the Christian Life Church on Friday, Pastor Jackson Senyonga requested for a special investigation into a number of alleged crimes committed by fellow Pentecostal pastors.
We know of mass graves in this country. And these pastors are behind it.
I tasked Senyonga to name some of the pastors that he alleges are involving in criminal activities.
Pastor, you mentioned mass graves and pastors who kill people. These are serious allegations.
And it's happening.
Where?
In Uganda. I'm not at liberty to say everything. And having even mentioned them.
Pastor, when you talk about mass graves, it's serious.
It is very serious.
More than 10 bodies.
Yes. So do you want me to show you where those mass graves are?
Yes.
And what are you going to do as a journalist? It will fall on deaf ears. These people are going to continue doing what they're doing. We want the government to make thorough investigations. And I hope, after what I said, they don't run away and uncover those bodies and take them away for evidence, to hide evidence.
Are you ready to show and lead the police to these places where mass graves are?
I will lead them to the people that are claiming for their rights. I don't want to be the pastor who stands in the police and here we are on TV kicking trees and jungles and jumping in the bushes and saying this. I don't want that. I want to stay as a leader, and I don't have any power to investigate anything. These are claims that are coming in, but there are too many, and I don't think that all of these people have nothing in what they're saying.
Senyonga still had no kind words for some police officers who he claims have frustrated investigations into some of the reported cases. However, according to police, his allegations are still baseless.
Have you reported to police? You mentioned that your files have got lost.
Well, Pastor Senyonga right there making a very strong claim that his fellow pastors are involved in enforced disappearances and killings in this country. Now, to expand more on this issue and more, we are joined by the Deputy Police Spokesperson for the Kampala Metropolitan, Mr. Luke Owoyesigire, and he joins us right now in studio. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
First off, Mr. Luke, tell us what the pastor is talking about, because our viewers need to know.
The pastor probably has a case, and it is something that when you listen to such an allegation of a mass grave and people killing people, it is something that as police we ought to look into. But right now I can tell you that the two police stations that are actually close to the church of Pastor Senyonga have no case like that, have no allegations like that they ought to look into. So it leaves us just like that. Some of them were it was actually their first time to listen to those allegations. The DPCs in all the respective areas, that is Kawempe and Wandegea, they've never heard of such a thing.
So, Mr. Luke, are you trying to tell us that the pastor never at any moment
submitted any complaint to these respective district police commanders? So it is something, we are not saying that we cannot look into it. If he wants to work with us, like he alleges, he should come forward and give us these allegations. We look into them. We go to the respective areas that is alleging bodies were dumped, and we see what to do about it.
But Afande, this is a story that was actually aired a few days ago. We're talking of Friday and also Sunday. We pointed out to the same. Whose call is it? Is it for him to approach you, or for you to approach him?
He's the one who has the information. You see, we've seen such. I wouldn't want to call it a publicity stunt or what, but we've seen such. I cannot just watch this news on NTV, on Bukede or whatever TV station that is there, and then I come out and I'm like, okay, Pastor, give us this allegation. He's the one supposed to come forward and inform us. These are the places, and we'll look into it. So if you don't actually come out to inform the police that is actually close to you, I'm also wondering in my mind, which police station did he approach? Maybe that he can come forward and also inform us, the police officers who are stressing the investigations, as he pointed out during
I found it for a very long time. I found it for a very long time, especially when the police is actually, met with such instances where someone is either kidnapped or murdered. They always open up and call for people who can be witnesses or whistleblowers, so to speak, or anyone who has any information to actually come to them. But people, a majority of times, shy away because they say that whistleblowers are actually tortured, so to speak, which has been the allegations time and again. But here you have someone who is saying that, hey, even coming to the media, has such guts, and saying that, hey, I have all this information, and even if forced to, I can give you the list of these particular names. Why are you not, leveraging on such information?
Well, like I said, we have no problem to leverage on that information, but he also needs to prove to us that it is really important. Like the way he says, he has to come forward. That is how it has been. Such information can be extracted from him, and we look into it.
So, Mr. Luke, you've made a very strong allegation that Pastor Senyonga could have employed this as a publicity stunt.
No,
he has this annual gathering in December. So you've alluded to that. Now, what happens if it's just a rumor and he's just trying to do PR? What would police do in that event?
No, I'm not saying. You see, whatever information that we've had a lot of cases whereby we've been given wrong information, and such cases are investigated. We don't stop investigating them, and whenever such people come to our police station with that information, we investigate that information. If we find out that this was actually false information, then probably there's something can be done about it.
On Sunday when we hosted...
but right now I cannot say that it is wrong information because we've not looked into it.
You haven't looked into it. Yes. On Sunday when we had the chance to interview the pastor, he did say that he cannot name any people simply because they might move these mass graves. Now, you as police, aren't you concerned that maybe this information is getting to you late and these mass graves are being moved as we speak? Because you're saying you're waiting for him to approach you, but shouldn't it be the other way so that these people are nabbed before they move these mass graves, if they indeed exist?
You see, if you've been following some of the history, especially on our part as security, of some of these churches that are around Kampala, we've seen some of them have issues to do with land. We've seen some of them have issues to do with followers, whereby sometimes they even attack each other because of their differences in beliefs. So he has to really come out and convince us that really this is something not to do with whatever we've been seeing in the past as the police in the areas.
But Afande, what will it cost you for you to just go out and verify if what he's saying is authentic, just going on ground?
It does not cost him also anything to come to us.
What does it cost the body that is mandated by government to, investigate into these matters, and not just that, keep the public safe and secure? What will it cost you?
I will also add on, it does not cost him anything to come to us.
All right.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Luke, this is not the only issue we are dealing with in the country. August 28th, we saw the enforced disappearance of Miss Nagrinya and her border rider, Rona Chitayimbo. September, as we were moving in, we also had the expressway murders, Joshua Ntereho and Marina Tukunde. What is happening in the Kampala metropolitan? Are we safe?
Well, I know you woke up.
Yes, that could be one of the lucky 40 million.
Well, there are very many lucky people.
But other people might not have had this.
Like I said, I can tell you that we didn't have much incidents within the night. Actually, none. Within the
Tonight,
9 p.m.
you're sure of that?
I'm very sure of that.
So
So,
to-
we are safe. I would
So
put it
today
like
we
that.
are safe, but in the past we've
but-
noticed that there's a worrying trend in
But
kidnappings.
I would also to add on that, yes, there are some isolated incidents. Like I said, the issue we've come out very clearly to state the issue of Nagirinya. This is not something that just happened out of the blue, and I'm like, today I want to harm my colleague here. This is something that was premeditated, planned, executed, and they even had plan Bs if at all it didn't work out. That's why we have suspects in our custody, because clues were left behind, because it was planned. If it was something that just happened like that, maybe wouldn't be anywhere, but there were plans, there were stages that they took to make sure that they executed this plan.
So we could actually say that even the murder on the Entebbe Kampala
It
Expressway
was
was
executed.
also
Premeditated,
premeditated.
planned and everything.
But let me ask you this question, Afande. This murder on Entebbe Kampala Expressway did happen at Nambigirwa Bridge, right? And it's just a few meters from the Mpala tolling point, where we know that normally, I also apply that particular route quite often. We know normally that at that particular tolling point, there's always security deployment. But now that you're here, let's just leverage on that and ask you these particular questions, because those are the gaps that the public are trying to put two and two just to understand if police is actually taking, you know, some of these issues seriously enough to prevent such from happening. Now, on this particular day when this murder did occur, at that particular point, it happened at around 10:30, 11. True, false, right?
True.
Okay. And at that point in time, police came out to say that, hey, this information came to us way later. So the question has been coming through. Way later, yes. This is according to information that is coming through, what we've been following through. The police did not respond immediately.
No.
It did not respond immediately. Now the question is, how is the deployment on that particular route, especially knowing that it's high profile, you know, citizens that actually ply that route, and not just, you know, Ugandan citizens, but foreigners as well. So how is the deployment in that particular route?
The immediate response, I don't know what you're talking about, maybe in minutes or seconds, but what I can tell you that our patrol car, right after like 2 minutes to 3, it was already at the scene. From
2 minutes after the shots were fired.
3 minutes, it was already at the scene. The 99 police patrol. The police commanders, the SOCO, the ambulances, those ones can take a little bit of time, like 30 minutes to 30 minutes or something. But the police 99 patrol, which was actually within the area, arrived at the scene. But unfortunately, the suspected attackers had already done what? Had already fled. So that leaves us with working with clues that have been left behind to make sure that we probably have these attackers apprehended.
You know, there's one of us, Romeo, who actually gave a witness account. He plies along that route every single day because he lives on the other side. And he was saying that on that very fateful day, he used that particular route. And as he was passing by now, he saw this car, doors open. The car was actually packed nicely, doors open, this body down in the pool of blood. And what he was saying is that at that point in time, he didn't see anything happening in terms of security coming to, you know, to address the situation. So what you're saying is that police responded immediately in 2-3 minutes. That's what you're saying.
Like, I'm trying to tell you that we have a patrol car. Its work is not to cordon off the scene. So when the incident happened, just like 3 minutes after it happened, they arrived at the scene, and it was a suspected drive-by shooting. You get what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So you've seen what has happened, and you as a police officer, what are you going to do next? Are you just going to sit there or try to see whether you can follow any leads that maybe can help you apprehend the suspect? So by that time, we had already received the communication from the patrol car that there was a shooting, and they were probably trying to follow up the lead of probably arresting someone who could have done what? Could have fled. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But we have statements from our officers who actually arrived at the scene 3 minutes after.
Yeah, actually, according to another witness account, Mala, yes, a witness did say police showed up a few minutes later, 3 minutes, tried to follow the black Harrier that sped off after killing Joshua and Marina, but then they don't know whether police actually followed them as far as they should have, or they just stopped midway and then came back. But another issue that was mind-boggling, you see that Entebbe Expressway, look, there's a very big light that just illuminates the whole area. But on that fateful day, it was off.
Well, those are the questions that, of course, are supposed to be answered. Of course, we shall talk to the management of the tolls that are erected, and of course, that support the security on the highway, and also find out why was it off. Was it an issue to do with the umeme, or was it an issue that was deliberate? And of course, it shall be put in our statement.
Deliberate, like you alluded, premeditated murder. This was very deliberate. Now, government last published the annual crime statistics in 2013, but according to data from 2013, that was the last time you published any report.
That was
but then when we came in 2015, when it
yeah.
came to 2015, that was actually the last. Actually, 2015, we
have actually published 2 reports.
We recorded 2,500 murders in 2015.
Yes.
But in 2015, it was nearly double the levels. 2018, between January and February, maybe only 8 kidnappings. 2014, maybe like 4-3. So, but then there's been an upward trend. What is fueling such activities of kidnaps and murders in this country?
We came out, of course, in our recent report to give some insight into what is fueling some of these kidnaps and murders. And we looked into like 3 causes. And one of them is people have want money.
Money.
I think
Poverty.
They want to probably finance themselves in some activities, and they really want money, and that is the only way they can do it. They can raise that money, and we gave cases like the children kidnaps that were happening in Kawempe. Some of the suspects that were actually apprehended came out and confessed that they were actually in need of money, and that they are the reason why they are doing all this. Others, it is just to do with murder or kidnap you, but I don't want anything from you. I will use the ransom issue as something to get you off course, but my main focus is to murder you. And others, it has just been self-kidnap. They do that to themselves because they're actually also poor.
They want to raise some money. All right.
So
can I take you back
money.
to Can I take you back to the Entebbe, Entebbe Kampala Expressway, because it's a prime route. We know even with the ease in just getting to Entebbe in less than 30 minutes for some, especially government officials that just they don't even observe the speed limit that is given in that particular stretch. Yes, are funded. Yes, the speed limits.
It's above 80.
Are funded the speed limits. Now, my question to you is, what's the current status of security in that particular route? Citizens talk, and we have WhatsApp group. Now, in this community, people do talk, in real time. Now, my question is, of course, every time we're told that, hey, don't ply that particular route if it's past 10:30, if it's past 11 p.m. What are you doing with regards to changing that and ensuring that you assure the citizens of security, of their security as they ply that route, even if it's at 3 a.m. in the morning? What are you doing to change that?
Well, thank you very much. Actually, security at the express highway is majorly focused on motorists, especially vehicles, not borders, not pedestrians, because actually that road does not favor any pedestrian. So we've actually deployed, like I said, we have cars that can respond early enough, but it stretches somehow too long. But we are also looking into issues of adding in more cars to make sure that patrols are done and the life and property of the persons who actually move on that road are actually secure. We used to have a lot of incidents before the road was open and it was being used by the public. Then we were not mandated to put their security by that time, and a lot of issues like roadblocks, and later people would, their money would be taken by people they allege were having guns, not police officers. They would allege they were having guns, armed, and from then, although the road wasn't open, we had to make sure that we deploy our vehicles, also the foot patrol vehicles, to make sure that they always respond to such incidents early enough. And these tolls also, we've managed to use them as some of our center points to make sure that we can respond to any emergency.
So what you're saying is that right now you're assuring Ugandans that they can actually be on that road.
Yes, they
in
can
the wee hours of the night.
They can actually be on that road. People use it a lot. It's only of recent when we were having the CPC that people are not using it very much, but people do use it a lot. Yes.
So, Mr. Luke, let's talk about overall security in Uganda. There are some people using borders to murder other people. A case in point, 2015, March 30th, we had John Kegezi being shot by a man who was by two people who were on the border. 2016, 2016 there, we had the murder of Major Chigundu Sulaiman, Sylvia Namtebi's husband. And then when we went to 2017, March 17th, we had the murder of AIGP Kawesi. And then in June 2018, we had Arua Municipality MP Abiriga killed in the same way. Now, in early September, the same year of 2018, former Buyende District Police Commander Muhammad Chirumira was also gunned down with the same men, border cyclists. What are you doing to rein in on this kind of activity? People are using borders in the same way. What are we dealing with? Are they ADF rebels? Are they just...
we came out with mechanisms, of course, working with URA, of which some of these have failed to be implemented. The double number plate issue on these motorcycles, this is something that is very important. And why we are actually reining in on many motorcyclists nowadays, we are entirely focusing on this hiding of number plates, whereby you find someone flipping this motorcycle, and some of them don't have these number plates. We have installed cameras that actually have automatic number plate recognition systems that can actually help us track some of these motorcycles, whom they belong to. And our officers are on high alert, on the lookout of number plates which conceal, rather on motorcycles which conceal number plates and those that don't have any number plate. And we shall find them and we shall take them to courts of law because of that, because we feel like those are the measures that we have actually come out with to make sure that such incidences don't happen again.
All right, finally, the final question that we have for you today in this particular deck. The last time we hosted you here, it was because of the shooting that happened in, Quality Supermarket in Nalia. This security guard who shot dead Mr. Anyebona. And now, just a few days ago, was it one day ago, we also have another, so another security guard, Mr. Kiza, shooting dead Mr. Atwesije. And this happened, of course, in the university. And this man was just coming to visit his girlfriend, and it happens again. You gave us promises last time that you're going to rein in on this security, kind of firms, ensure that you scrutinize them to ensure that they have people and armed guards who are fit mentally. What have you done so far? Because this is a repeat incident.
Correction, this incident didn't happen in the university, it happened at a hostel.
A hostel, beg your pardon, yes.
Of course, have some of the residents there are university students. Well, it is very unfortunate that this happened, but like I said, we've tried the best level we can get into to engage such security organizations, private security organizations, and the process of making sure that some of their licenses are granted has become thorough now, because remember a few months ago the IGP came out with a circular, of course, giving us directions on how we can police these organizations and emphasize more on these organizations. So such mistakes, I believe, it is very unfortunate that this happened, and this gentleman Kiza is being held accountable.
Well, Mr. Luke, I'm afraid we'll have to leave it at this. We are going to link to our reporter, Stephen Mbide, who's ready to give us the traffic update. But we cannot leave without telling our viewers what they ought to do to keep themselves safe, especially now we are heading into the 2020 campaigns. Remember 2015 when we were heading into the campaigns, 2,500 murders right there. Now, 2019, you've seen the trend. Murders ahead of the campaigns. What should the ordinary person out there do to keep themselves safe?
Of course, like I said, our country is secure, but of course we have incidents that happen. Our people sometimes are attacked, our homes are attacked, and what we should all keep in mind is knowing the security personnel of your area. This would be the OC. Many people don't know these people. I've preached about this, but people still call me who stay in Rubaga and I stay in Namugongo, they don't have the numbers of their OC. So make sure they have that number. Your OC should also make sure you have it. You should go down on the ground and make sure you have that number also.
Okay, thank you so much for coming through a fun day, Mr. Luke Oesijire, of course, the Deputy Police Spokesperson of Uganda Police, Kampala metropolitan area. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you.
Keep your views coming. Hashtag Morning at NTV. Later on, we'll be getting into your questions and comments alike. At this point in time, we'd like to link to our traffic officer, Mr. Stephen Bide. He's at the clock tower. Bide, what's the latest in terms of traffic?